Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's your boy McKinley Crain here. And today, I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free review of Marvel's What If, Season 1, Episode 1. Now, before I say anything else, let's get into it. So Marvel's What If is an animated series of hypothetical scenarios. Basically, the title explains it all. What if, Spider-Man didn't get bitten? What if, Iron Man is an Iron Man? What if Wolverine's a vampire? Actually, I don't know. I'm not really sure if the mutants are in this one yet. But, this series is based off of, Marvel What If comic books. I know the lighting's in here really bad. The lighting in here is really bad, by the way. So, sorry about that, guys. I gotta deal with what I gotta deal with, Anyway, this series, like I said, this series is based on, a whole bunch of Marvel What If comics, where it just poses the question, what if something in a character's origin story had never happened, or what if an event that we all know had happened differently, or something like that. There's one where, what if, Spider-Man was Doctor Strange, what if... Yeah, so they made this into a TV show, and let me just say, it blew me away. It was actually even a little bit better than I expected. I loved the animation. Honestly, I think that making the show animated was an even better choice than making this show live action, because this show just feels like it needs to be animated. And honestly, the whole animation thing, since this show is basically canon to the MCU, but it's like a hypothetical show, it's a show full of hypotheticals, making the show animated feels more appropriate. It just feels like you can kind of remember the difference of the fact that this is not actually canon. It's canon, but only hypothetically, in a hypothetical way. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, so this first episode is basically about what if Peggy Carter had become Captain America instead of Steve Rogers? And I must say, Peggy Carter is a fantastic Captain America, or should I say Captain Carter, because that's the name she goes by in this episode. I found her a very lovable character. I found her a very lovable character in the past, too, in the past movies. But she was especially lovable in this role. And, Steve Rogers, don't think that he doesn't have, any part of this story, because if you think that, you'd be wrong. He has actually a huge part in this story. He's just not Captain America in this story. And just to be honest, the thing about this series is, with the Marvel What If comics, it was just basically a whole bunch of hypothetical what ifs. And I'm not saying it's not like that in this TV show, but in the show, it makes it very clear, and this isn't a spoiler, by the way, it makes it very clear that these events basically have happened in the MCU. They've just happened in a parallel dimension. Oh, I think that's right. So basically, Captain Carter does exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She just exists in a parallel dimension. And honestly, I heard that one of the creators of this show said that they would love to see a live-action Captain Carter movie. And after seeing this episode, I couldn't agree more. She's a very lovable character. She's a very strong female character. She's very lovable, very awesome, very badass. I really dug her character, and I dug Steve Rogers' character too, and I dug the voice acting in this episode and the animation. The animation was just so beautiful to look at. I love this episode's usage of color, and I love how the Watcher is the main narrator. For this series and for this episode. it just makes so much sense. And I can't wait for the next episode of this series, because this is just awesome. This is an awesome series. It's an awesome episode of an awesome series. And I really enjoyed it. And it actually has a lot of humor in it. Well, some humor in it. And that humor works very well. And this story was a lot deeper than I expected it to be. Which is a good thing, by the way. Anyway, I loved this episode. And I love this series. And I plan to buy some Marvel What If comic books in the future. I was already going to do that. But now I feel more like I feel more like it, if that makes sense. And I cannot wait for that next episode to come out. Next Wednesday. And this isn't a mini series, by the way. This is gonna just be like a full on show. They've already confirmed that there's gonna be a season 2. And well, of course, because this series has infinite possibilities. There's so much you could do with this series. And I can't wait to see what Marvel does with this series. And I'm going to give this episode a 100% out of 100%. It's perfect. By the way, a 100% out of 100% is the equivalent of an A+. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.